Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to speak to you guys about the symbolism of water and the importance that it places on me in my own life, as well as how powerfully we can look at it and really look at the spiritual meanings and the complete understanding of this thing. Water is such a powerful thing because to me it represents full potential, because there's still water in this world, the deepest depths of the ocean, that have not been explored. We as human beings were trying to head up to space, but we still haven't found a way to go deeper into the depths of the oceans. So to me, it describes this kind of vast thing, right? Because we're 70% water, the world is like more than 70% water, and it's this expansive thing. The symbolism of water has this kind of undertone of purity and fertility. Symbolically, it's often viewed as the source of life itself. And we can see evidence in countless myths when people talk about contacting and communicating with spirit guides. Often there's a body of water that they look in to communicate. So it's often seen as like a portal. We're all made of water. So obviously microcosm becomes macrocosm, right? As within, so without, as above, so below. The symbolism of circulation. Okay, the creative waters of the earth with the fluids found in our own body, which is the blood. It's interesting how hemoglobin kind of has the word globe in it, like the world, earth. In the Taoist tradition, water is considered to be an aspect of wisdom. The ancient Greeks understood the power of water in terms of its recycling quality. And then we look at the Egyptians, where their Nile River is akin to the birth canal of their existence. So, I'm a Scorpio, okay, that's my zodiac sign. And the fixed water sign of Scorpio, or the scorpion, speaks of mystery, stillness, and reflection. And, I've always had this kind of love-hate relationship with water, because when I was much younger, I had a drowning incident, okay, where I almost drowned, and I was saved by this guy named Krit, so K-R-I-T. And subconsciously, I remembered those letters, because years later when I created my rap name, which at the time was MC Scripts, but then I cut the MC off, and basically it had the 4 letters of Crits, and 4 was my life path number, and all of these different, little synchronicities. And some of you might say, like, you're overthinking it, you're overanalyzing it, all this stuff, but in that moment, like, I was drowning from the very thing that sustained me. Like, we need to drink water to stay alive. And because I didn't have the skill set, like, I was a weak swimmer. I still am moderately weak swimmer because of that. However, I have the ability to explore water to its depth now, and I definitely find myself, finding a deeper connection with water in the future, because, I remember the times where I was swimming in high school and things like that, and I would always have to wear little flotation devices and have this thing which kind of created this initial trauma in me, which didn't allow me to fully let go and embrace that and really enjoy that. But at the same time, I was pushing myself, challenging myself, playing water polo and all these different things, so I still remember that. And so we can't really forget the animal realm when it comes down to water. All these water creatures there, right? There's different water animal totems, and I was told by a shaman that my totem animal, so there's 3 different types of animals, right? And I might do a video on this later, but basically you have your totem animal, your power animal, and your spirit animal. People all just clump it into one and think oh, there's just a spirit animal, but there's more depth to this, okay? My animal totem was a dolphin. So dolphins are extremely playful, they're very intellectual, and there's certain stories which you can read a lot of myths and different stories, like the story of Jesus walked on water. A lot of people believe that water symbolizes the emotions. So some people have interpreted that as Jesus rising above his emotions. You can see things from a different perspective above it. This whole idea of water and how it pertains to the flow state has also has also been very interesting to me, because I understand it now. Like, everything sort of fits together now that makes sense. You can see the body of water behind me as I'm talking to you guys about water. Water gives us life. It rejuvenates us. It resuscitates us. It flows. It crashes. There are waves. It reminds us that the waves keep crashing and coming and going and flowing. And there is an ability for us to perceive past water. It is transparent. It is formless. It is effortless. Clean water. How many places have clean water? We underestimate the capabilities of water. And I'm telling you guys right now, all the stuff that's coming out right now in terms of the Kangen water and being able to add a different vitality and look into experiments with water, like the water molecules changing, all sorts of different understandings of it. Imagery of like mermaids and Atlantis and all of these different things that we can just cast our nets and just analyze and overanalyze sometimes too. But it's just important to recognize that our consciousness has got to become like water. So pure that it does not need a filter. And you'll notice the vibration of places with lots of bodies of water, like beaches. My soul is in a beach somewhere. I do know that. That's why I have that behind me. But it draws me into that world a little bit more. Body of water holds a very, very high frequency. Sometimes I remind myself to drink more water as well. That's just a very simple message. But I can tell you right now, a lot of people watching this video, you guys aren't drinking enough water. And maybe if that's all a message that I had for this video, is just that. Is just drink more water. Because think about this, right? Your brain needs water. It needs hydration. That's why when a lot of brainwave entrainment experts, and I'm a brainwave guy, right? I create binaural beats and frequencies and subliminal messages. And I have a channel actually called Symbolism Tones, if you guys don't know that. So essentially, I provide people with this, and I create them as well for people. Very adjusted, very personalized. So if you do have any questions about that, shoot me a DM or shoot me a message on here or anything like that, because I definitely want to get back to making these, and I will be giving much more importance to the people who actually value it and provide me some kind of positive reinforcement from it. Even if you want to just exchange value, like if you're a type of person who knows something that I don't, it doesn't have to be money per se, but there needs to be some kind of an exchange instead of you just requesting it. So if you want that, that is possible as well, and I definitely can help you out with that. Having said that, I think that when all these binaural creators create beats, they put in the description, drink lots of water. The reason they do that is because brainwave entrainment and frequencies can be very dehydrating, because you're using more of your brain, right? You're activating more of your neurons, you're using more of your brain, you're listening to this thing, and it's very, very close to your brain, to your head, right? You put your headphones in, you put your earbuds in. It gives you that hydration. Super hydrated. Be able to swim through this life and surf through this life. When life gives you waves or storms or tsunamis, you have backup. You have ways to let go into the water. You have ways to not let it drown, but let it float, make you float. You can either fight and drown like I was doing back in my past, or you can just float. And that's my message to you. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you, and stay light.